this Monday.
That's-
So that's our,
Let's get the meeting started. We're going to stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
remain standing because Eric's going to give the prayer for us.
Good evening.
I'd like to invite all of you this coming Friday, Good Friday, to Calvary Baptist Church, high noon. The Fayette County Ministerial Association is sponsoring the Good Friday service. Calvary's the host church. So come and enjoy and worship the Lord with us. Let's pray. Loving and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for your infinite source of peace, love, and wisdom. Thank you for blessing us with this wonderful gift we call life. In spite of the various challenges that we are facing in our society today, we cling to your words that say, I will never leave you or forsake you. And as we begin this meeting, I pray for your spiritual guidance and direction for this council. Help them to lead and govern with integrity and strength to do what is right for the benefit of everyone. Teach us always to perform our job faithfully and diligently so that we will always be a blessing and a source of inspiration to the people who need our services. I ask you, Father, to bless these present tonight as they work together for the common cause. Give us always the strength to do, patience to bear, and let our courage never fail. And all these things we ask and pray in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you coming. Okay, we need approval of these minutes here of the,
there's three sets
pardon?
of minutes.
3 sets of minutes. So, there you go, pass those down. We got 3 sets here to approve for the special session and for a joint session also.
Councilman Stewart, if it's okay, I'd like to make a motion that we pass the minutes from March 7th regular meeting, March 21st special session, and March 21st joint executive session is presented.
Can I
I'll
have a
second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Scott.
Mhm.
I second it, yep. The only lone female voice out there.
As you're getting those signed, we have email? No, ma'am? Okay. Does our attorney have anything to bring to us tonight?
I do not.
Nothing?
Nothing. Not yet.
Is that a
I'm sure
good
you'll have
thing?
questions
Is
for
that a
me.
good thing?
That's always a good thing.
Okay. Any committee reports? Nothing going on we don't need to know about? Okay. Do we have a commissioner's representative? He's hiding here someplace.
We've got 3 of them here. Which
Say,
one do you
over
want?
there.
I'll like to hear from you. The lady might get upset.
Well, I don't have much to report today. We had a pretty light agenda today. We did approve a new hire in the prosecutor's office, April Shipley, is going to be a new employee over there. And we did have reports from our highway superintendent, and Josh Jarbo gave a pretty good maintenance report. You will hear from the sheriff here in a few minutes on his report. Of interest to you mainly, we did approve the request for a proposal from Gordian on the jail air handling project. It would take them a few weeks to get that together. We've made no obligation there, but they will put together a proposal, and when we have that, we'll share that with everyone, see what that looks like on that project. We approved a resolution adopting a multi-hazard mitigation plan. It was put together by our EMA director, which is a necessary document when it comes to qualifying for federal funds and disaster relief, should that ever happen here. We adopted an agreement to retain Baker and Tilley as our representatives in the ongoing talks between Fayette, Rush County and the solar energy project that's going to be underway in both counties sometime this year. And we will, at some point, have a similar agreement with Butler Fairman on the same project. So as far as we know, that thing is progressing at the pace that everyone expects it to. We did have to do a little bit of cleanup work this morning. Somehow back in January, we had 3 board appointments that fell through the cracks. So we have reappointed Scott Kefeber, Tom Christie, and Kelly Gettinger again to the Fayette County Health Board. So if anyone knows of anything else we've forgot lately, let us know. But I don't know how that happened, but no harm done. And that's pretty much it. Not leaving anything out, gang? Okay. That's it for me.
I have a question for you, Dale.
All right.
Who, and you may not know the answer, that's fine too, just say, who gives our statistics to the state involving COVID-19 outbreaks in our county comparing to other counties?
Well, they collect data from our health department,
From the health department.
but I don't think that's all they collect. They also collect data from local hospitals and clinics. So I don't know who all has input to that data.
Everybody that gives the shots out reports it to the state.
Well, my question is this, because I had to go to here locally, Reed yesterday, had to have a mask. Wayne County is not masked. They said because we're reporting higher rates, but I'm not seeing that anywhere than Wayne County, so they're getting away without having to wear masks. We do here locally because that's what's being reported. And I was just curious where you get these reports from, and is it accurate? I don't know. So,
That's a new one on me.
well, it's a new one on me too, because it was Fayette County's considered high, and Wayne County's not. And I said, well, I don't accept that. I'd like to know where they're getting information from, because I don't like wearing the mask, but I have to. Okay.
Yeah, especially in warmer weather.
Yeah,
Right?
the warmer weather, you're right.
Yeah.
Dale, what'd you say about the air handler? What's the next step?
We will wait for Gordian to present, to prepare a request for proposal, and that will tell us what, basically what everything will cost.
Who are their vendors?
North Mechanical is their vendor. You were here the other day with us and met with them.
I guess that kind of surprises me that you would go into a contract with them, but guess it's okay, it's your business.
Well, I'll tell you, Tim, I constantly encounter things that I find a little bit distasteful, but I found out that the world doesn't always care what I think or what I want. You have to, sometimes you
I
have to.
guess it's just strange to me that we would let a vendor hire somebody to assure us that North Mechanical's quote's gonna be above board when North Mechanical is paying them to the tune of 6% of the whole project. Now that 6%, I'm pretty sure that North Mechanical is not gonna pay 6% to this group without marking that up. You can't, you don't pay out without some kind of return on that payout. So if we're looking at the project with 6% with a possible number of 10% on top of it that we are not aware of, because this guy tells us that it's coming through their overhead, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So now we're looking at 16% bottom line to us, just to have the vendors, people assure us that the vendor's bid is above board. I don't understand that.
Well, this is our first time of dealing with the state's JOC program. But to be clear, North Mechanical doesn't hire anybody. We would hire Gordian, and those two work together.
Who pays Gordian?
In the end, we would be the ones paying Gordian.
Through North Mechanical. The man sat right there and told us that we don't pay them.
Their fee
That-
would be included in a project total.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And North Mechanical pays them to assure us that North Mechanical's quote is above board.
Now,
If the vendor's gonna pay him, then the vendor's not going to pay him without making something on that cash that's going out to their consultant without adding more on top of it for the return. You can't do that. That guy told us right there that this is part of North's overhead. You can't, you don't spend money for a consultant without making money on top of that. Something, if you're just spending money and turning around and getting it right back, you're losing. You have to make money on the money you're spending. And to me, there's something wrong there. And when I was standing and talking to the gentleman, I can't remember his name, there was a younger gentleman that did the quoting, that talked mostly to us about the quoting. When I'm talking to him and I tell him, you know, if I can't trust you, I'm not going to quote you. And I said, to spend 6% more on top, which will end up being 12%, unknown, but it'll end up being 12%. And the young man that seemed to be the quoting a figure there, he's standing behind him shaking his head telling me, this agreeing with me. It's strange, Dale. It's really strange.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that conversation, but I do know one thing, that none of these people will work for nothing. Everybody wants to get paid.
Oh, I don't blame them a bit. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is when they charge that 6%, North is not going to just turn around and charge us 6%. Because if they do, they're going backwards. North has to take that 6%, mark it up, and then charge us that, because that's where they said it comes from. It comes from North's bottom line. It's part of their overhead. So to me, it appears to me to be a buddy-buddy system. We're buddies. You and I are buddies. I'm going to come to you with my quote. And if you tell me, that's probably on the high side, I'm going to say it doesn't matter. I'm paying you. So then, therefore, who pays in the end? We do. And it's wasteful. And I don't get it.
Well, hopefully, as this thing progresses, and we commissioners are going to share any and all information we get on this as we go, hopefully, things will be more better in focus, and you will understand exactly what's going on with it.
I'll
I
tell you
do
what-
understand.
I'll tell you what's wasteful is paying a low bidder to put the thing in wrong in the first place.
Yeah,
That's wasteful. If we put
absolutely
it in right the first place, even at a higher cost, we aren't having this problem now.
Another question
Don't do that, Bob.
I know it.
Another question I've got. With the unit that we have here now, we've got to weather the hot weather coming. What are we going to do to assure the taxpayers that this unit is going to make it through this hot season coming?
We can't make a promise like that.
I'm not promising,
We don't
but
know
we've
what's
got to
gonna
do
be
something.
into it.
What happens if it goes down right in the middle of the summer?
We'll deal with it. We will deal with it if it happens. Any piece of equipment could quit working at any time, any day, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Well,
So
I'm
you
not so
deal
sure.
with it when it happens.
I'm not so sure there's nothing you can do about it, but I guess maybe that's the way it's done. I don't know.
Well,
So you find a better way.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dale.
All right, well, thanks, everybody.
Moving on, do you have any old business? Nothing there? Zach, what you got for us?
All right. I'm here to give you guys my annual jail report. Pass those down, please. I emailed everybody a copy of this. It's an annual report that we have to do, the sheriff's department has to do and provide to certain people in the county. The auditor has one to make it public, and then the council commissioners and the judges, prosecutors, everybody. So
I got one.
this used to be, years ago, it used to be one page because there's 11 things that I have to report. And as you can see, we've got this jail report on steroids now because it's about 15 pages. Booking statistics on page 3. Again, if you have any questions at any time, just yell at me. Admissions, 793. That's about standard for us. Last year was a little higher, but this year, 2021 was a little higher, but last year, like I said, 793. Male and female is about the same as it has been. Our average daily population, 138. Again, just like 2021. 109 males, 29 females. So hopefully the 29 female ADP stays about the same because when we open the Women's Center, it's about what we can house. So hopefully we can keep it around there. ADP by month.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure. Can you hang on just a second?
Yep.
So you were Sheriff Office Chief Deputy, right?
Yes, sir.
For how long?
All 8 years.
All 8 years. Okay. So given that you were number 2 that for that long, were the 2018 and 19 numbers similar to 21 and 22?
As far as booking statistics.
Bookings and daily
Average.
average.
Yeah. Again.
So the decrease in 20 may have been COVID related and
Yes,
Right.
it could have been, yeah. They usually, years ago, we were booking in 1,100 people a year. This was 9-10 years ago. So it's slowly getting lower, but our average daily population has slowly increased. I don't get it. People are just staying in jail longer before they get sentenced. So that's why, again, our booking statistics have went down over the past 10 years, but our ADP is continuing to rise.
sure.
Like he's 128 to 136 to 138. I think right now we're probably around 132, but we still got the summer months coming.
Sure.
So
So
it's
when
not
the female retention facility opens down the road, likely this will take a big bite out of our jail overcrowding problem, but not necessarily cure it, right?
I'm optimistic that it will, but we have an outstanding law enforcement team here in Fayette County, not only the deputies, but the city police. And if we build a jail that housed 250 people, we'd
They'll
get
fill it.
280 people in it. I mean, they would fill it up. It's just,
Sure.
that's just the nature of the beast. We got a lot of officers that like to go out and stop crime. So, but hopefully, the hope is, yes, we put the females in the women's center. That gets us down to about 110. Once we get there, the jail inspector has always said he wants us at 80% of the capacity, which is 89 inmates. I can't see us getting there. I don't know, hopefully we do, but 89 inmates, that gives us the ability to classify people, and that's why he wants us there.
Sure, and just for the record, I'm not advocating a new jail by any means. I just wanted to make it clear that we're taking a big bite out of it. It's just not gonna take care of all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The average daily population, like I said, per month, it just, 2022, we got as high as 173 inmates, which I've been there 23 years. I've seen it at 186. If anybody tells you we've had 200 people in jail, they're lying. The max we've ever had was 186, and that was a nightmare. But we also were as low as 104 inmates at one time last year. So it varies, but you really never know. But usually when it gets colder out, we get more inmates for some reason. So 173 last year was the highest we got. DOC money earned. I'm not sure what happened in 2021. I didn't do this report. It was done by somebody else, so I'm not sure where the numbers came from. I'm assuming they were right, but I couldn't tell you for sure. But COVID maybe affected that. But 2022, last year, we got $283,000 from DOC. That's for us housing their inmates, the level 6 felons, which are they're going back to DOC now, effective July 1st of this year, or last year, I guess. So that may affect our income from them, but usually when somebody gets sentenced, whether it's a level 6 or a higher felony where they're going to prison, they stay in our jail. We got 5 days to get them to DOC, and then after that they have to pay us. DOC doesn't call for about a month or two, so they're staying in our jail for a little longer than what they're supposed to, and we get paid for all of that, and their medical's paid for also. Any more questions yet?
Your level 6, I thought I remember from a previous meeting, it was usually 5 or 6. Is that correct or not?
It varies. At one time when we were housing all of them, it would get up to about 15 to 20.
Okay.
But lately, yeah, we're keeping them. We usually have 5 to 10.
Okay, 5
I'm
to
not
10.
sure off the top of my head today, but yeah, usually we got 5 or 10, and we house them for, again, sometimes a month, sometimes 2. It's just when DOC calls, we're at their mercy. Unfortunately, we can't just take them up and say, "Here's your inmates." That'd be great if we could.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we can.
Doc, we were talking about the fact that quick and speedy trial, we don't have that anymore, do we?
We still have it, but it's not very quick. We're very speedy.
And what's slowing the system down, in your opinion?
I have no idea.
Not enough attorneys, or?
Again, that's a problem. Continuances. The inmates have rights, and they can continue things until they think they're ready. We get some fast and speedies when they think they can beat it, but yeah, it's just a slow process.
And you gotta keep them.
You got to keep them. Yes, sir. The top 10 charges. We do that every year. That's something that the state mandates. Battery. That's always up there. Again, last year, 165 arrests for battery. That includes domestic. That includes kids fighting. So that's our top charge. Possession of meth, again, is number 2. We're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a ton of meth right now. And then you can read it yourself, but possession of a syringe has dropped pretty good. It's 61 arrests last year, when the year before that, 114 arrests. So.
Are they still giving out the kits? Is the health department still giving out the kits with syringes
I'm
in
not sure if the
them?
health department does it, but I know the Connection Cafe, Charmin's group, they
They
are
give
giving
out syringes, and when they walk out, there actually could be arrested having a syringe on them?
Technically, yes, but again, the law enforcement really don't just sit outside of there and wait for them to
Well, I
come out.
understand that,
But
but
when
I just found
When,
it.
so technically, yes, we could just sit outside of it and say, "You got a syringe? Come with me." but I've talked to Sherman before, I'm not 100% in agreement with what she's doing, but I understand what she's doing. I just wish we didn't have to do it. wish
Yeah, I
there was
think
no-
several years ago, it started out in the health department, I think it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
moved,
it
it's
was
probably
done.
moved to other locales.
Yeah, but again, Sherman's doing good work. I appreciate what she does.
I understand that. I just don't agree with the program.
Yeah. Staffing analysis, I did this when I first became chief deputy under Wason. It's been just about the same since. A lot of people think that if we get down to 60 inmates in our jail, we can cut staff. That's not how it works. We have to staff per post in our jail. We have 2 pods, we have a control officer, we have a floor officer, and we're supposed to have a booking officer. That's 5 officers all the time supposed to be working. To man that 24 hours, you multiply that by 5. It says we need 25 jail officers all to staff our jail 24/7. We have 20 right now. So we're 5 short. We used to have 19, but the council gave us 1 years ago. So now it was 6, now it's 5. The jail inspector says we're 10 short, but I go by the staffing analysis, what the math is, and yeah, if you guys want to give us 10 more, I would appreciate it, but 5, we have to do that also. Yes, sir.
When we get the other facility going, how many more men would you need to staff that?
The other facility, it was going to be 15 because the control room was going to have to be manned, and we came up with the idea of let's be able to control that facility within our jail, so we only have to have 1 control officer. So technically there will be 1 post over there, but I don't want 1 female over there by herself, so we're going to have 2 all the time working, which again, multiplied by 5, you get 10. So we're going to have 10 employees. And then I don't know about work release, of who's going to be watching them, or we, or they.
Well, that's the state's responsibility, so.
Yeah. We're not sure how it's going to work yet.
Am I wrong on that, Michelle?
Yes, it's the county's responsibility
For what?
to have staff over there.
It's just something we're going to have to work out. But 10 people are going to have to be over there, or hired, in order to staff that place.
Well, this was all discussed when we talked about it last year.
Yeah, 10's the number, that whether we're just watching our inmates and she has somebody watching hers, or we're watching all of them, there's got to be 2 people over there all the time. That's just, again, it was going to be 15, but with us being able to pop the doors and monitor the cameras from our control room in the jail, that knocked it down in employees, so it's going to save a little bit of money, but it's still going to be expensive. Employees are expensive. Next is transports. 65,000 miles is what we drove last year for DOC, juvenile, going to pick people up. Ryan Young, our transport officer, does a lot of this. He put on his vehicle around 42,000 miles last year. That's just 1 person. The rest of it is our jail officers doing transports to the hospital. A lot of prison. He goes and picks people up at prison that have a court date here. He goes to Michigan City, picks them up. They're here for a week, and then they have their court hearing, and we drive them straight back to Michigan City. Round trip, that's an 8-hour round trip. So I would love it if we could do video court. The judges aren't huge fans of it, but they have started doing a little. I just wish we could do a lot more, because that would cut this number down drastically, I think. The other thing with this is we're getting a lot of juvenile transports, where we're taking juveniles that have done something where they need to be detained. We used to take them to Muncie, but that's not happening as much. We're going to South Bend, we're going to Mishawaka. We got long trips to take, and that's a far drive for our jail officers and our transport officers. Any questions about transports? Look like you got one.
I explain, how does someone up Michigan City when they haven't even been to the court yet?
No, these are sentenced inmates, and then they go to prison. For some reason, they want a sentence modification or some sort of hearing after they've already been
We have
sentenced.
to pay the cost to go get them.
We have to go get them, bring them back. They stay here for a week, and then we take them back up. So, yeah,
Yeah, that don't make
It's
sense.
a fun system. Yeah. Overtime, that's a biggie. In our jail, $77,000 last year. I'm not even sure what we budgeted last year. I think it was like 30 or 40, I'm not sure. But it's always a high number, but we usually don't have to ask for additional because we have people quit. So we got their salary for a couple of weeks that we can move that money around because it takes us sometimes a month to hire somebody that's qualified. We were just full staff 2 weeks ago, and I was telling Michelle, we're 3 short right now. So if you know anybody needs a job, send them my way. So overtime is a big issue. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so how many jail officer positions do you have?
Right now we have 20.
20, and 3 are vacant today.
Right now we have 17, but we have 20.
17,
Yeah.
but 3 are vacant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many, in the last 5 years or so, how many people have filled those 20 spots?
That's a good question. We looked it up, and Sheriff Laughlin, I think, he may kill me for saying this, but I think we hired 70 or 80 jail officers in his term.
70 to 80.
It
Okay.
used to be a job that everybody wanted.
Right.
It took me 6 months to get hired, and I got passed up 3 times.
His 4-year term you're talking about.
Over 8
Or
years, we
8-year
hired
term,
70 or
okay.
80 people.
So, all right, so between 70 and 80 people during Sheriff Laughlin's term. People come and go, right, for various reasons. How many of the people that have left went to a different department to become a jail officer? Not a cop, a jail officer.
In another county, you mean?
Yeah,
In another community, yeah.
Yeah.
Rush County has taken, and that I can remember, probably 7 or 8. Franklin County's taken at least 4 or 5.
For jail officer positions.
Yeah, Union County's taken 4 or 5 probably. Wayne County's, we've actually fired some people and they took them, so they can have them, but
Right.
they went up there, probably 4 or 5 people went up there. But yeah, it's,
But we let them go. These are people leaving of their own
yeah, we fired.
accord.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're encouraged to leave.
But a lot of
Generally-
people are leaving because of better paying jobs somewhere else. And again, why anybody stays, I like to think it's because we're good to work for. That's what I'm going with. But you're dealing with 140 inmates for, I think they make about $36,000 a year. Or you can go to Rush County and deal with 40 or 50 inmates for $40,000 a year.
Same scenario with 911,
Yeah, it's the same.
same thing.
Yeah, the 911 is super busy in here. You go to Rush County, make more money, and you don't take a lot of calls. I mean, hey, people like working at our jail because they get a lot of action, they get a lot of inmates coming in, they get interaction with them. Maybe that's why we're keeping them, but I like to think it's because we're fun to work with. That's what I'm going with, at least. I don't know if it's where
You don't
I'm
have Pizza Tuesdays or something like that for him?
No, we haven't done that yet for them.
What do you
No
think
chocolate
about it?
Sundays on Sunday.
Yeah, what's that?
No chocolate Sundays on Sunday.
No, we may have to try it. If we lose any more, we may have to try
Donut
something.
Sundays.
So most people leaving are going for wage.
I would say 85% of them.
So you, basically, from what you've told me here, we've lost anywhere over that 8-year period of time. We lost anywhere of between 13 to 18 people, specifically to go to other departments for the same job, out of a maximum of 80 people. You break that out by a year, that's about 3% a year.
That's probably
It's-
an
it's,
average attrition.
And that's just off the top of my head.
And so I guess the reason I'm asking that question is you made the statement here in your report, the fact that we are losing jail officers to higher paying departments. Well, that might be part of it, but it seems when you dig, the reason I'm asking for those stats is sometimes we've had people say that,
Mhm.
and when you dig in, the private sector would kill for that kind of retention rate. You know,
Mhm.
so that's why I'm asking the questions, okay?
Yeah. And again, we've lost some because they went to our jail, which inside of our jail because we've arrested them. That's happened several times. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, most of it, we just had a kid leave that's going to make $25 an hour. not in law enforcement. Michelle just stole one. I don't like to talk trash about Michelle when she's
Yeah.
behind me, but she just stole one from us because they're gonna make more money over there. I mean,
You know, our concern though, I mean, we can't work, good for them if they're able to get $25 an hour in the private sector. God bless them. But my concern was the ones that are leaving to do the same job somewhere else. So, thank you.
Next page, medical statistics. We still have Quality Correctional. Last year, we paid them $254,000. That's the contract we have with them. I'm not even sure what that number is. And then we also have to pay hospital bills over that sometimes. So that's the amount, and it's about the same as 2021. It's close. Something that some people don't know, when inmates go to jail, they don't get insurance, even if they have the best insurance outside of here. When they go to jail, it's done. We get to pay for them no matter what. But if they have a medical procedure that keeps them over 24 hours in the hospital or our insurance is supposed to, or our quality is supposed to sign them up for HIP insurance, and then HIP is supposed to cover all of it. So I've been on our staff to make sure when you send somebody to the hospital and they're going to stay 24 hours, you make sure that they're signing them up for this HIP insurance because it takes care of it and we don't have to pay them.
Yeah, Zach, and we've talked about this. How available is the medical people to you when you need them?
We have a nurse there Monday through Friday, and then she's available by phone all the time. But we get 40 hours of nursing with our contract. I didn't even know. I guess they won't tell you until you ask, but we had a discussion about mental health. Our contract says that we get a guy that comes down once a week. He usually stays for a couple hours to see the people having mental health issues in our jail, which he can stay there for weeks because we have a lot. But they have a program through the Sheriff's Association as a grant called Q360, where they will come down and provide a ton more treatment for free. Again, they don't tell you that stuff until you ask them. So I'm trying to work that out, make contact with the lady that's in charge of that, and hopefully we can get that, because treating their mental health issues may help them stay out of jail and decrease that.
Well, for high on drugs or something, I guess you just had to put them away someplace till they come down, or do you have?
Yeah, we'll get to the padded cell here shortly. I got some pictures that, it's just stuff that, our padded cell, stuff that we need to repair. The jail kitchen, spent $184,000 last year. It's $1.22 per meal when you figure in the ADP. I'm in talks right now. That's with Tiger. They take care of the entire kitchen. They take care of the staff, food, preparing it. They got a dietitian that says, yes, this is approved. But I'm talking to a different company right now that, I don't have the exact number, but it's going to decrease that cost by, man, I'm thinking probably 15 cents a meal. When you're serving a lot of meals, it's a lot of money. So hopefully we can switch to them and save the county some money.
And provide better services for
Yes, that's yeah, for us. Programs and services. What we do in the jail, we have the GED program. Ms. Dickerson has been coming in for a while now. She comes in, teaches the GED program, and I think there's a Safe Serve or something like that that she also teaches. We've had quite a few people graduate, get their GED while in jail, and they get a time cut through DOC if they are a DOC inmate. Church services, we have church as much as I can get volunteers. That's just something that I think the inmates really need, and every time I have somebody come in and say, hey, can I put a program on? Yes, just tell me when you want to come. We have one now, a guy out in Hagerstown's teaching a program, and it's been a big success. I mean, it started off, I was pessimistic because 2 inmates showed up, and out of an entire block, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. And then a week later, he had about 20 people in there for each class. So there's 2 classes, and it's been a big hit. And I think if you can change their lives with religion, maybe that'll help them when they get out. So we try to offer as much as we can with that. Counseling, I know with the opioid grant, hopefully we can get some more counseling. There's a lot of people that have put in for money for that. But right now, Joel, when Conaway comes in, tries to get people in rehab. He's always coming down, trying to talk to people, setting them up when they get out. He'll pick them up from jail, take them straight to rehab. It's a great program that he's doing. Again, does it help everybody? No, but I just talked to a gentleman yesterday who said, it took me 5 times in rehab until it finally clicked. So, and Joel's the kind of guy that will send you to rehab 5 times if he has to. The therapeutic community, that's put on by Michelle's staff. We have a male and female block doing that right now. We try to get 21 inmates. We usually end up with about 15 or 14 that are doing the class, and that's been a pretty good success. Again, does it save everybody? No, but what else are they going to do? Sit around and hang out in the jail? I tell people all the time, it's amazing if you're in a jail setting, people sleep all day long. That's what inmates do, they just sleep. Derek Harrison comes over at about 8:30 in the morning. There are 16 inmates right now in the class waiting for him to show up at 8:30 in the morning, and they sit there until he's done out in the classroom listening to him talk. So if you can, I mean, I can't get my kids up to go to school hardly, but these guys are getting up and participating in that class, so that's great.
Hey, Zach, is it still the rule when they're booked in and then finally, or go and do their time and then are released at the time that they were logged in, so it could be 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
It's still the case?
Yes.
And so are they given any resources when they leave?
Not right now. No. I had proposed a reentry program. It wasn't part of the grant, I guess, the opioid grant, but there's a pilot program in Decatur County right now that there's a reentry program that is pretty extensive, and I've talked to the sheriff up there, and hopefully we can get something like that going, because again, we're just setting these guys free and saying good luck, and then usually a week later we're saying hello, welcome back.
Yeah, that reentry program can deter them a lot from coming back.
Yeah. And again, if it's grant money and we're out nothing, the least we can do is try.
It just seems to me like Judge Freed's had such a miraculous program that, I mean, he's had very few that's had to go back.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about his stuff.
I know, but
Yeah.
something like that.
Something like that, where they're
Yeah.
being monitored, because some of these inmates, they just don't know how to interact out here, so having somebody that will monitor them and be with them, yeah, that's what drug court is. They sort of just, he watches them and goes over their budget, follows them around, and yes, just keeping an eye on them, make sure they're walking the straight and narrow. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Well,
get started.
he's got the big stick that if they go out of line,
Yeah.
they go back to jail.
Yeah, he's got a little more authority than.
Yeah, but still, I would think leaving them to their own resources is certainly not ideal.
Yeah, I feel like we're teaching them in the jail. We're trying to set them straight while they're in jail, and then we say, all right, good luck. And we're just setting them on a trip to fail. And if they have some more resources, and trying to get that started, hopefully we can apply for that grant, and hopefully we can get it, and we can start a reentry program
That'd be wonderful.
for the inmates. Maintenance projects completed last year. Did a lot of stuff. Jarbo was here this morning with the commissioners, but he's painted, he's fixed a ton of leaks, he's fixed D-Block's door, which is, hey, that's all he had to do last year, and we'd have been happy. But he's done a lot of things in our jail, and I've listed some of them, but there's still a lot that needs to be done, and that's the next page. Unfunded. I took some better pictures in case you can't see it. That was Kay's idea. So, inmate showers, that's always going to be a problem. We finally just took the doors off because they've rusted through. So they got shower curtains. Not as private as they would like, but don't come to jail, I guess. I don't know. But, so we've taken the doors off. A lot of the inside of the shower, the ventilation's awful, so it does rust. And mold. We constantly are fighting mold, trying to spray the showers down and clean them. So the showers need to be addressed. Jarbo was saying today that we just need to gut them and start over. I don't know if that's the answer, but that's going to be expensive. But I mean, we are fighting mold and rust all the time. Cell glass door, that's in this jail report every year. The glass breaks, inmates can break it. I think the last glass we bought was not security grade glass, I guess, and they just, some of them, they're putting it in, it was cracking as they were putting it in, so maybe spending a little more money on better glass may be an option. Yes, sir.
How long has these been this way?
Oh Lord, I think the first jail report I did, there was a picture of sill glass.
No, I'm talking about the shower area.
Oh, the shower areas, since I've been a jail officer. I mean, it's
So
the ventilation in the jail is, and especially in the showers, it's just awful. So you just get that steam, and then you got 20 inmates constantly using it. It's just, it builds up, and again, mold, rust.
Has there ever been any attempt?
There was Under Sheriff Wason, he did something, I forget what it was, but they did something, they seal coated it or something like that, and it helped a little bit. But I know a couple of the showers were leaking, and Jarbo fixed those last year. But at one point, F Block, which is facing CBS, it was leaking so bad that I had to go to Bill Gray at the time and say, hey, this is about the jail's about to fall in, and he noticed it and fixed it pretty quick. But it's always been a problem.
It was in the DLZ report back in 2020 about the shower mold and rust floors.
Yeah.
That was in there.
And I tried, there's vendors that promise me, oh, you can just throw this in here and it'll explode and it'll, like a bug bomb, I guess, and it'll kill all the mold. It don't work. And just spraying it with this disinfectant we got and scrubbing it is the only method we have. So we give the inmates the ability to do that every single day, but it's just, it always comes back. The control room floor, that is something we have to address. It is, we fixed the administration floor is on here because this was last year's report, but we fixed that this year. The control room floor needs to be fixed. It's sort of a drop ceiling on the floor. It's a weird situation. I can't get anybody to quote me to replace the tiles because I don't think anybody does that anymore. But Jarbo's got some ideas of putting plywood down or something and maybe just putting a vinyl planking over it. So whatever works, I'm good with, but you can't walk in the control room without tripping over the floor because it's sort of bubbling up and it's becoming a bit of an issue. It's been an issue for a while.
Well, were they put down with an adhesive then? Will they pull up?
Yeah, they're like I said, it's just it's like a drop ceiling on the floor. So we got this little suction cup and throw it down and pick it up.
You can get that goes underneath there and cuts the tile and pull. You know, the old asbestos tile they used to have in a lot of these old buildings.
Yeah.
There's a machine that you can rent. Probably have it at Gilman's that just goes underneath there and pulls those tiles right up.
Really?
Yeah, and then you can put a vinyl floor around top of it. You can put the lock block floor or sheet vinyl, either one, once it's done.
And he's had a couple different ideas, and we have to try that. We'll have to look into that too. The administration flooring, if you haven't been over yet, I invite you over to look at it. I think it looks really good. The maintenance team did a great job, and wholesale carpet, they did it, and it was excellent. We'd like to thank the commissioners for letting us do that. Cleaning, again, the inmates clean our jail all the time, and they're pretty good at it. The inside of the jail, the secure side, is fairly clean. Some of the cells are pretty disgusting because we got a lot of inmates coming and going. But for the most part, the inside of the jail is pretty clean. The lobby of our jail is not. It needs some attention. Me and Jarbo got some different ideas to spruce that up, I guess. And then the perimeter, that's somewhere else in here, but the perimeter of the jail, the outside of the jail, they just pressure washed the big thing, the overhang of the jail. It looks a lot better. They're going to paint it, and then maybe some landscaping outside just to make it look a little better.
Zach, can I ask some questions? You say here, in 2018, the jail underwent a top-to-bottom cleaning and repainting of the majority of the jail. The ventilation system was also dismantled and professionally cleaned. This may be a question for the commissioners. Do you all remember who did that?
Joey had that done by somebody in Richmond, I thought, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we don't remember how much it cost, or if they had a maintenance cleaning recommendation.
I don't think it worked very good.
Okay.
I don't think it worked very good because we're still
You're still having the issues.
The jail inspector doesn't like our airflow.
Yeah. What kind of gauging does he use when he?
You would ask. I just looked up his email the other day. There's cubic feet or something that has to come out of these vents, and I forget the exact number. I can get it to you. He emailed it to me because I asked him. But he just sticks a little gauge up there, and
So it's a gauge.
Yeah, there's a gauge that he sticks
Measure
up next to.
static pressure.
So yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but he uses a gauge. He brings all his little gauges. We have to have so much light in the cell blocks. We have to have so much airflow. So he brings all that stuff.
Do you have those numbers?
I do have the numbers. I'll give it to you guys. I'll have to look it up in my email. It's an email that me and him corresponded. And I just asked him, hey, what is the airflow? Is there a number that we're supposed to reach? And he gave it to me, so I'll give it to you guys.
Could I possibly get that tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
So we don't know how, at least offhand, what if there was any improvement at all after the cleaning.
I'd have to go back to the gel inspections just to see.
Wouldn't hurt to get that information.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Because,
sure
a
they're
lot of
digging
those
on that.
folks on the council weren't, I wasn't here in 2018 either, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can look through the gel inspections and see if he's
Thank
got
you.
this on that every year since then.
Thank you.
I'm not even gonna bring up number 6 because you guys already talked about that and I don't want nothing thrown at me. New camera system. It'd be nice. Our cameras are old. When you sit in control and you're looking at the cameras on all the screens we have, you can barely make out what's going on because they're old. The good thing is our jail officers have body cameras now, so that helps, and it gives audio. But it doesn't help when a person's sitting in control, trying to monitor where everybody's at, and you really just can't tell because it's blurry or it's outdated. So
What's a new system cost?
Michael would be a better. At one time, I think we got a quote for, this was years ago, from Stanley, who has it now. I think it was $250,000 to upgrade. So I'm not sure. I think that was cameras, doors, everything though.
Zach, I want to go back to your pictures that you have in here, and Tim's been, as you know, Tim's been over at jail and is taking these pictures. So Ralph and I, we kind of restore old cars on the side, and a lot of this rusted metal, like this here, you get that cleaned off really, really well. Sandblast it if you can. If not, scrape it really down. Good. Till you all rust down to bare metal. There's a product called POUR, P-O-U-R. It's an automotive product. It's for rusty old automobiles from the 1930s, 40s, 50s. That stuff sticks great. And you can brush it on. You don't have to spray it, so you don't have the fumes in the air. And that stuff will stop all that rust. Okay? It's
I'll
called
tell Jarbo
POUR.
about that. Yeah.
You'll find it in automotive areas, but it's good for anything.
Okay. And we have, after the escape, we found out that the rebar only went up this high.
Yeah.
Hey, go to jail, just have to rebar in, I guess, save money. So all of the exterior walls have stainless steel, and there's a little bit of rusting on that as well, just because of the ventilation, I guess. Now the body scanner, when we got that, it was through a grant with Michelle. We didn't get the dual view. It'd be nice to be able to get that because we catch a lot of stuff in our body scanner, and every inmate that comes back to our jail, run through the body scanner. Right now, you have to know what you're doing to find stuff. And our jail officers are getting pretty good at it. But if you get the dual view, it makes things a lot clearer. So if they've got heroin where they're not supposed to, bless them.
Are you talking about body crevices?
Yeah, you said, But yes, if they got heroin where it's not supposed to, you can see it really good if you got that dual view. Of course, it's another $150,000, I think. At that time, it's probably $700,000 now. But that would be a great thing to have. Our padded cell, we've repaired that time and time again. It's just, as soon as an inmate who is talking to George Washington because they're having a mental breakdown, they start picking at the cell because they got nothing else to do. And eventually they get a whole piece of it and rip it off. We've charged people with criminal mischief. We've got restitution. We've repaired it. We've charged people and didn't get restitution, and then the county has to repair it. But it's just something that we have to repair because, as you can see, it's a padded cell still, but it's you can see.
Are there any other options?
There's one company that we can get to come down and do it. It's sort of like the air handlers. There's only one company that does it, that wants to do it, and they'll do it, but we gotta pay them. So, if you can find another one, I'd be more than welcome to look at. And this is a company out of Indianapolis that it's the only one we can find that'll do it. And then the perimeter of the jail I talked about, and then the door and intercom system. The intercom system is obsolete. If it breaks down, we're in trouble. The inmates, every block has a button they can push and it beeps into control, and then that's how we know they have an emergency. Again, we were told that we don't make these parts for this system anymore. It's sort of like our door locks. It took 4 or 5 years to get a part for our door and V block. We had to use a key to get in and out, so it's something else that may have to be addressed. I don't know when they do the female center, maybe they'll have some new technology that maybe we can get in our new jail, or the old jail. Maybe we can look at it and see what they're using now as far as an intercom system. Any questions?
Your list of unfunded maintenance projects 1 through 11, is that in order of preference for you, or
No, not really.
no? Just kind of hitting, just
Just
all over the place?
as I was asking people, and some of them are always on here. I mean, the rough showers,
Sure.
Last door, they're always on here, so we're used to that. To me, the air handlers, that's priority number one, if I had to pick. Just because, again, when you go in that jail and it's 90 degrees outside, it's about 85 in the jail, and then the floor starts getting a little wet, and you start slipping and sliding, our jail officers happen to walk through that, it becomes dangerous, so. I would say that's the number one thing, and then padded cell, door and intercom system, that's something else that needs attention.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you, guys.
Okay. Any more new business? Transfers, additionals, reductions? County General? Is this where you come up over?
I think mine's pretty easy and painless, hopefully positive. I'm requesting an additional appropriation for continuing education for excellence classes. I did not realize that these were offered online. I found out last year when I went to the AIC annual conference at one of the workshops.
Oh, the classes that they offer through AIC? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're offered in person, which you can go to all of those when they're offering 1 or 2 a month for the whole year. But they do offer them online, and they range from like $60 to $65.
Yeah, they're cheaper online than,
They're the same price. They are
not
the
all of
same-
them, because some of them are higher.
The ones so far this year that I've seen are the same price. We'll go through the year, hopefully not, hopefully they're all cheaper, but the ones that I've seen so far are the same price. But I think they'll be beneficial. And of course, as elected officials, we have to maintain credit hours, and these go towards that, the credit hours. So I just think it'd be great to utilize.
So you want to sign, obviously you'd want to sign yourself up for that, and then all your employees, is that right?
Well, just myself in my office.
Just
I-
yourself?
Yeah.
So is it just, how many of these, did you just put these as examples,
That's
this
the ones they're
class?
offering as of right now that I can sign up currently for.
Okay, because
Ten,
one of
aren't
them
there?
took place February 7th.
Right, and I can still sign up for that one. It's still available. I checked that one yesterday, and it's
Oh,
still
okay.
available
You
to
can
take.
go back and watch the recording.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
the
I got
podcast.
you, I got you. So that's only like $195, right?
Right, but there's 1 or 2, she said, every month. That's offered every month.
So this is something that
It's
you want to,
ongoing,
like a
yes.
continuous thing?
Mhm.
These are available for all of us too.
It's for any office. Like I said, it's for any office, and any office can take these.
Oh, I'm familiar with
classes,
it,
yeah.
it's a good program.
Yeah.
So do you have a total, LaWanda?
It was like $780, I think. I just rounded.
Then
it.
for $800, did you? Just
Okay.
asked for $800.
I just asked for 800. It was like $780.
Okay.
But
I gotta look at my paper. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to allow LaWanda to use $800
second it.
Okay.
for these meetings.
Any questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. See?
Thank you.
You got here with all your teeth and everything, you're okay.
Yeah, I've done some of them on them. I've done some of them online.
Yeah, they look like they'd be beneficial from the other families that I have talked to, so I'll keep you posted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And, Michelle,
I'm here for 144 approval for the employee that I got from the sheriff's department.
oh, that's the one.
Yeah. The Madison Fields as a case manager, and it starts at 36,000.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's all I got. Thanks.
That's simple enough, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Any other business before the council? I take the
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you for coming.
You saw this.